Hello everyone, Isabel here today with your reflection for Wednesday the 31st of May. Just recently, I'm sure you all donated to Christian Aid Week, so I thought I'd speak a bit about that with you today. Many years ago, each church in Forfar was given a district, and each volunteer was given a street in that district to pop an envelope in each door and return later that week to pick them up. However, it was decided some time ago to change this for safety reasons, so they were then distributed whatever way each particular church suited them best, until of course 2020 and lockdown. We had no official collection that year, of course, nor the next 2021, but Barbara Ann decided to take a retiring offering once we were allowed back into church. I was one of the distributors for a number of years, but due to other commitments one year, I started helping with the counting instead, which then led me to being co-opted onto the committee. Kathleen Ritchie, the other committee member for East and Old, and myself, we will be counting our envelopes next Monday, the 5th of June, so you'll be hearing the final sum soon. Now, I'd like to tell you a little bit about how Christian Aid began. The original fundraiser was started by British and Irish churches to help refugees following World War II. During the 1940s, it collected £80,000, £3 million in today's money, which must have been quite something. In the 1950s, Christian Aid launched to raise extra funds to help Europe, Palestine, Korea and China. By the 1960s, they helped Nigeria, Biafra, Kenya and India, and in the USA, helped to combat racism and poverty. 1970s popularised world development issues by providing seed money to establish the new international magazine. 1960s, they helped feed the hungry people during Ethiopian famine and those experiencing drought in Mozambique. 1990s linked work to 50 poor countries to campaigns on developing world debt and fair trade. 2020s, they supplied more than 500,000 people with food, shelter and healthcare after the Asian tsunami. In the 2010s, they campaigned against climate change in the world. So that's just a little about the work of Christian Aid through the decades. Now, the reason I chose this subject for my reflection today is because I read a very interesting article in Life and Work magazine. It started by saying that Susan Chimbeo has a message for Christian Aid supporters. Her message is, "Thank you, but we hope not to need your help in future." And I'd like to tell you just a little about what she had to say. Susan is the founder and chair of Nandolo Farmers Association, a cooperative supported by the aid agency which is improving the lives of thousands of small-scale Malawian pigeon pea farmers. The pigeon pea, also known as the yellow split pea, is a phenomenally useful crop for a poor farmer as it doesn't require fertiliser and every part of the plant is used for something: animal or human consumption, firewood, or return to the soil as nitrogen-rich green manure. Susan tells the story of a lady with 5 children who had been abandoned by her husband. She had nothing and couldn't send her children to school. Since she was introduced to pigeon peas as a croft, that would bring in some cash to her, and their lives changed completely. She's managed to build her own house, her children are able to go to school, she can feed them properly, and she can even afford to take them to hospital when they become sick. The pigeon pea crop has changed the lives of many, many people, from poverty to prosperity. She goes on to say that they've had flooding in Malawi and times of no rains coming at all, but this crop will withstand all that. It will grow anywhere, and even if flooding comes and flattens the place, it will bounce back, unlike the ground nuts, beans or maize, which will all be washed away. When I suggested to Barbara Ann that we might hold a small fundraiser with a split pea lentil theme, she was very enthusiastic about it. So, watch this space. Have a good week, and I hope you will support us in our venture.